Good morning. Today, let's start with a new chapter, that is chapter number 15, Introduction to Graphs. Now, the word graphs. Why we are learning graphs? Graphs are introduced because it is easy to understand the data by graphical representation. So, introduction of graphs has been done, because when we see the graphs or when we draw the graphs, we understand that what is the data given. Therefore, graphical representation of data is easier to understand. Now, in our previous levels, we have learned different types of graphs. So, types of graphs are: first, bar graph. It is a representation of numerical data in the form of bars, that is rectangles of uniform width with equal spacing. The length or height of each bar represents the given number. Now, what is bar graph? Now, this bar graph, what first of it is doing? It is representing numerical data in the form of bars. Means whatever data is given, that numerical data is represented in the form of bars. Bars means you can say pillars type, rectangular pillars, these bars have uniform width. They have the broadness of these bars are uniform, equal, and the spacing between each bars is also equal. Now, the length or height of each bar represents the given number. A bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. Now, this bar graph is used to show comparison among different categories. We have also learned double bar graph for specially comparison. You can see here the bar graph is shown in the figure, that these are the numerical data is represented in the form of bars, or you can say rectangles. You can see that the width, that is the broadness of this broadness of each bar is uniform, matlab same, and the space between each bar. Now, you can see the space means here the space you can see it is given as a 1, 2, 3, 4. So, here it is given 0, 0 to 1, then again this is left, then 1, 2, 3, this is left, then 2, 2, 3. So, 1 space is given in between each bar. So, this is how we can represent a bar graph. Another type of graph, that is a pie graph or a circle graph. This, if you remember, we have learned in our chapter number 5, that is data handling, what is a pie graph. Now, pie graph is used to compare part of a whole. Yes. So, pie graph, what is this? It is used to compare parts of a whole. Means suppose from the whole thing means we are taking the fraction form. The various observations or components are representative by the sectors of the circle. Yes. So, the various observations, that is whatever fractions we are getting or components we are getting, that is represented by the sectors of the circle. Let us see one example. Here you can see different types of games are given, for which it has been given in the percentage form. So, different games are given as sectors of the circle, that is gymnastics is given as 1%, tennis is given as 12%, track is given as 10%, soccer is given as 30%, and swimming is given as 27%. Sorry, track is given as 20%. So, in all 100% is given, and from that we can find out fraction, we can find out angle, central angles, and this way we can represent a pie graph. Another type of graph, that is histogram. A histogram is a type of bar graph where the class intervals are shown on the horizontal axis and the heights of the bars, that is rectangles, show the frequency of the class interval, but there is no gap between the bars, as there is no gap between the class intervals. Now what is the histogram? Histogram is also one type of bar graph only, but the difference between histogram and bar graph is that in histogram the class intervals are shown on the horizontal axis, that is what we call as x-axis, and the heights of the bars, or you can say the rectangles, show the frequency of the class intervals, and there is no gap between these bars, or you can say the rectangles, and as there is no gap between the class intervals. When we talk about the ungrouped data, then when we talk about the group data, then in group data you can see that class intervals are not given the gap, means it is from suppose 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. In this way class intervals are there. As there is no gap between the class intervals, there is no gap between the bars in the graph, that is in histogram. Let us see one of the example. Before that, a histogram is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. So the histogram is nothing but it is one type of bar graph which shows data in intervals. Here you can see a bar graph. Here you can see, and I have not taken any of the categories here, directly mentioned the figure that how bar graph is done. Here you can see no space is there between any bar, all the bars are joined with each other. This is your histogram. Here no spacing. See, one, this is one, then this is another, then this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth, then this is seventh. But no space between any of the bars is given. Then one another type of graph, that is a line graph. Now what is a line graph? A line graph displays data that changes continuously over period of times. Means a line graph, what it shows? It shows that the data changes continuously as the time passes. For whatever it is given, it may go up then come down, it may go only up, it may go only down. This type of graphs are called line graph. Let's see the one with the example. Here you can see the example. Here you can see the line graph. It is not a straight line, sometime going here, then gone here, then gone here, then like this, then this way. So it is not showing any specific thing. Yes, means the data changes. It is sometimes up, then sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes up, sometimes down. So this type of graphs are called line graph. And one of the line graph is known as linear graph. So a line graph which is a whole unbroken line is called linear graph. Now one of the line graph is such where you will get the whole line unbroken. Let us see in the example. Here you can see, yes, you can see all the points when we are joining here, we get a straight line and it passes through the origin. Yeah. So it is called a linear graph. Linear means straight only. So we have seen different types of graph, that is bar graph, then pie graph, histogram, line graph, and one of the line graph is known as linear graph. For fixing a point on the graph sheet, we need x coordinate and y coordinate. Now to plot here, to put any point on the graph paper, we need x coordinate and y coordinate. We have seen we write like this, y coordinate, and this is our x coordinate. Yes, this is called x and this is called y. Means we need 2 points, that is x this way. Just 1 minute here. This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So your x coordinate and y coordinate, we need 2 values to be plotted. This is called x-axis, that is our horizontal bar, and this is horizontal line, that is called x-axis, and your vertical line is called as y-axis. For plotting this you are fixing a point on the graph sheet, we need two coordinates, that is x coordinate and y coordinate. Means what is the value of x and what is the value of y. The relation between dependent variable and independent variable is shown through a graph. Now, in such type of graphs, what we are doing, we are showing the relation between two variables, that is one is dependent variable and another is independent variable. Now let us understand by taking an example, what do you mean by dependent variable and independent variable. Now in everyday life we observe that whatever we use more you use a facility, the more you pay for it. Yes, whatever facility has been provided to us, if we are using more or more, we have to pay for it more. If we are using less, we have to pay less. Suppose we are using the electricity. If you are using more electricity, you have to pay more bill amount. But if you are using less electricity, then you will have to pay less bill amount. So, if more quantity of petrol is used, the cost for petrol is more, and vice versa. Means suppose if we are traveling a long distance and we need more petrol, so we have to give more, we have to use, we have to spend more rupees. So we have the cost of petrol for long distance will be more. Similarly, if we are traveling a short distance, then for short distance we use less petrol, so the cost of petrol will be also less. So cost of petrol depends on the quantity of petrol. Now this, what happens, whatever amount of whatever quantity of petrol we are using, that is on which the cost depends. Now if I am using more quantity, then we have to pay more amount. If we are pay of means more amount, that is more rupees, and if we are using less petrol, then we have to pay less rupees. We say that the quantity of petrol is an independent variable and the cost of petrol is the dependent variable. Now as it is up to us that how much petrol we should use. If we use more petrol, then natural thing that cost of petrol will be more. So quantity of petrol is called as independent variable and cost of petrol is the dependent variable. Now let's solve some of the questions of exercise 15.1. So exercise 15.1, question number 1. The following graph shows the temperature of a patient in a hospital recorded every hour. Now you can see in the figure that a graph is shown, that is which is a line graph. It is representing the temperature of a patient in a hospital of every hour. After every hour, what is the temperature of a patient in a hospital is represented in this line graph. You watching this line graph, we have to answer some of the questions asked. So question number A is, what was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? Question number B, when was the patient's temperature 38.5 degree Celsius? Question number C, the patient's temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. What were these 2 times? Question number D, what was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? How did you arrive at your answer? And last question, that is question number E, during which periods did the patient's temperature showed an upward trend? Now for solution, let us use the line graph and answer the asked question. So for solution, number A answer, question is, what was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m.? Now let us look in the graph and let us see the 1 p.m. Here you can see 1 p.m. This is your 1 p.m. Here 1 p.m. what is the temperature? This is this point. Let us see the temperature here. Sorry, this is not the line actually. This is the middle line of, this line is going across. So this is the line. So it is coming between 36 and 37. midline of 36 and 37. So the patient's temperature at 1 p.m. is 36.5 degrees Celsius. So we write the answer. The patient's temperature was 36.5 degree Celsius at 1 p.m. Next question, that is B. When was the patient's temperature 38.5 degree? Now 38.5 degrees Celsius you have to say, means it is between 38 and 39. Now you can see between 38 and 39 means this line you have to check. This is your 38.5. So at what time it is? It is at 12 noon. Here you can see this is 12 noon. So the patient's temperature was 38.5 degrees Celsius at 12 noon. Answer C. The patient's temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. What were these 2 times? Now let us see at which 2 times the patient's temperature was same. Here you can see in the figure, yes, patient's temperature same at 2 times is this point and this point. These 2 points are the where the temperature of the patient is same. Now what is the time during that? Let us check it out. That is, here it is given as 1 p.m. here, and this is your 2 p.m. So the answer is the patient's temperature was same at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Now the next question is asked, what was the temperature at 1:30 p.m.? How did you arrive at your answer? Now first we have to find what is the temperature of the patient at 1:30 p.m. and how we have calculated the temperature, that we have to mention. So already we have seen ahead that at 1 p.m. it is 36.5. Now 1:30 means it is between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So this is your 1:30. Now you can see 1:30, the temperature is here, that is the temperature is given here. You can see 36.5 degree. So the temperature at 1:30 p.m. is 36.5 degrees Celsius. Now how we have calculated? Let us write the point between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. X-axis is equidistant from the 2 points showing 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So it represents 1:30 p.m. That is the midpoint of 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. is 1:30 p.m. Similarly, the points on y-axis between 36 degree and 37 degree represent 36.5 degrees Celsius. Now similarly we know that the midpoint of 36 degree and 37 degree is 36.5 degree. So we say that the temperature at 1:30 p.m. is 36.5 degree Celsius. And the last question, that is what it is asked, during which periods did the patient's temperature showed an upward trend? Now we have to see that during what timings the temperature of the patient rised. So you can see in the figure here, this is your rising point because remaining side it is not rising much. This is the period where the temperature of the patient has rised much. So the patient's, what is the timing? Let us see. Here you can see it is given from, yes, it is rising here, from here. It started rising from here and then it is decreasing. So the period is, you can say the patient's temperature showed an upward trend from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. From here it is started and it is increasing till here. So you will write from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is the period. During this period, the patient's temperature showed an upward trend. In this way, by using the line graph, we can answer the required questions. Now next question, that is question number 2. The following line graph shows the yearly sales figures for a manufacturing company. We have to answer 4 questions of this. So for solution, let us start with question number A. What were the sales in 2002 and 2006? So let us see first the year 2002. Here it is 2002. The sales is here. Sales is given in crores. So this is which number? This is 4. So in 2002 the sales was 4 crores, and next it is out 2006. So this is 2006. Let us see here what is the number given here. You can check it out. It is 8. So in the year 2006, 8 crores sales was done. So we write the answers. The sales in 2002 was rupees 4 crores and in 2006 was rupees 8 crores. Next question number B. What were the sales in 2003 and 2005? Yes, similar type. So 2003, here you can see 2003. Now here let us check it out how many crores it is. Here we go with the line, here it comes. So it is coming between 6 and 8. So after 6 and between 6 and 8 we have 7 number. So the sales in the year 2003 is rupees 7 crore. And let us see the sale in the 2005. So this is 2005. Now sale is this much. So that is coming, let us see, this is coming 10 crores. So in 2005 the sale was rupees 10 crores. Next question number C. Compute the difference between the sales in 2002 and 2006. Now we have seen that we have to find out the difference between the sales of 2002 and 2006. Already in question number 1 we wrote that in 2002 we have the sale of 4 crores and 2006 we have the sales of 8 crores. So difference will be 8 crores minus 4 crores, that is equal to 4 crores. So the difference of sales in 2002 and 2006 equal to rupees 8 crores minus rupees 4 crores, that is equal to rupees 4 crores. And the last question of question number 2 is, in which year was there the greatest difference between the sales as compared to its previous years? Now we have to check it out that in which 2 years the difference was the greatest when we compare the sale with the previous years. Now you can see that the difference, most longest line, you can see this one. Yes. So in 2005 it is 10 crores and in 2004 here it is 6 crores. So the difference between the 2 years, that is 2004 and 2005, is the most. So we write the answer. In the year 2005 there was the greatest difference between the sales as compared to the previous year, that is 2004, which is rupees 10 crores minus rupees 6 crores, that is equal to rupees 4 crores. So the highest, you can see the greatest point is here and we have to compare it with the previous year. So we compare 2000, this is 2005, and we compare it with 2004. So the difference is 10 minus 6, that is equal to 4 crores. Dear students, please copy all this in your regular CW. Yes, in exercise 15.1, don't copy the question of line graphs, means this graph which are given in the questions. These graphs that you will not, this whole graph you will not copy in your CW. Only you will write these answers and the related questions. Question answers only you have to write of question number 1 and 2. This graph only we will use from the textbook to give our required answers to the questions. Thank you.